Good morning, Bubba.
Hola.
How are
We're
you?
just good. We're just talking about sickness because you're fucking sick, right?
I don't feel sick, but I think my body I think I'm just just a badass going through it right now because I think I am fighting something. I almost lost my voice. It's cracking a couple days, last couple days, but I feel fine. My throat doesn't hurt. And then last night I was so ridiculously tired. I couldn't stay up past 9 o'clock. Slept until 7 this morning, which I never do. And then I just had to blow my nose because I had like that yucky feeling and a green bugger came out, and I'm like, "Oh, no. Oh, no."
It's this time of year, though, right? It's just like
Yeah.
that's what we were saying. It's this time of year. When we were talking about our kids' schools, when my kids used to go to private school, like they'd lose 10 or 15 kids, and they'd be like, "We may close the school because," and sometimes they would. They'd be like, "That's a chunk of us."
That's exactly what we're going through with our youngest. He just turned 11, but he's in 4th grade and at it's a private homeschool, so they go Monday through
Mhm,
Thursday, but there's only 50 kids, like 12 teachers,
mhm.
and yeah, he definitely they closed on Monday for sickness, went back yesterday, and then closed for today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
So but they have, like, binders they send home at the beginning of the year. They call them oh crap, now I can't remember what it is called it. But it's
Contingency education.
yeah, basically, they say grab your folder, do day 1, do day 3. So
Mhm.
instead on those days, mommy gets to do worksheets with him all day long. It's fun.
All of my kids are homeschooled.
I can't. Tucker and I tried because he's on the spectrum, because there was no way we were just gonna stick him in public school in kindergarten. We tried that
Yeah.
first half of kindergarten to do homeschool at home. We put a room in the house. I was trying to follow everything that I could to do it the right way, and our heads just butted the entire time. He don't wanna listen to me. I'm tired of telling him the same thing over and over again. Like, it's just my patience was not there. His patience was not there.
It
No
that's another.
0 motivation for either of us, I'm not gonna lie. It was just like, "Okay, we'll start at 9." Come 9, I was like, "Okay, we'll start at 10." Come 10, he's like, "Can we please do it at 11?" And I'm like, "You know what? Fuck yeah." Neither one of us wants to do this.
The younger the so, like, my kids were going to a private school during COVID, and they got sent home, and they're like, "We're gonna do school online," but nobody really knew how to do that then, and so we ended up having to do it with them, and this is when they were young. Like, I think our youngest that was in there was in, like, kindergarten, and that was the hard kindergarten for homeschool's hard. It's
Mm,
crazy hard. Like, I get it. Like, when
yeah.
you're talking yeah, it's
Mhm.
man, those teachers deserve way more credit, especially kindergarten teachers. Like, not all
Oh, yeah.
teachers, I'm gonna cut that short, like, not all
Mhm.
teachers. Like,
Mm.
let's stop.
I have,
But
my sister-in-law is a kindergarten teacher. She has been for 20 something years, and she's about to lose her fucking mind. I mean, she's sticking it through because I think at this point, she just needs to get to retirement. I honestly think that's where she's at. She just is focused on staying on course, getting to retirement. She doesn't wanna learn a new grade. She doesn't wanna redo the curriculum for a new grade level or anything like that. But man, these kids, every class that she's had for the last 5 years, she's got 1 or 2 just little demons running through there. Bad.
we don't keep in touch with them, but friends I used to have, his wife was a kindergarten teacher forever, and she was in kind of like a poverty-ish area, like it's on the cusp, right?
Like lower income, this
Yeah,
or
upper,
worse.
lower middle, which is these days just kinda lower, you know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. But, like, both parents work there. I mean, it's a good place, it's just nobody really had anything. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but the names some of the kids would come through specifically with there, she'd
Mhm.
tell us, like, she wasn't that she I mean, demons, she'd have whatever, but it was the names that I remember. Like, one kid was named, I'm not gonna give out his last name, but I'm gonna give out his first 3 names. It's Dale Earnhardt Jr., and then his last name,
Oh my Lord, have
and
mercy.
Junior was spelled out. I was like, "No." She's like, "Oh,
Ah.
yes. Yeah, we just call him Junior." I was like, "What, his real legal names, Dale Earnhardt Jr., let's call him Smith. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Smith." She's like, "Yeah. Yeah, that's it." I was like, "That's amazing." I
That's
was like,
crazy.
"That's amazing."
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, and then and my friend, he taught in Nashville, metro schools, North Nashville, which is not a great area, and, some of the names that would come through, he would have the same thing, like, but his was, like, middle school kids, like 6th, 7th, 8th, And now he had crazy issues. The stories he would tell, I'd be like, dude, you can't. Why are you doing this? Do anything else. And he's like, but yeah, but I'm vested in this, and I'm like, fuck that, man. Like, it's not worth it, brother. But the kids that would come out with there, like he would always say, he's like, I just have the kids tell me how to say their name. And it's like, oh, you know, I'm an older whatever. I can't. I don't know how to say it is. And he's like, the names they would come out with were crazy. Like, one girl was named Caitlin, spelled with a Q.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh gosh, yeah.
it's like, what? He's like, oh yeah, it's like QEI. Like, that's Caitlin. He's like, allegedly. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
I got to see a lot of that when I was working at the probation office, because there was like at every given moment we had at least 300 people on the caseload, and the names that came through there. I definitely, the first 6 months I worked there, I kept going to my supervisor like, is this real? Is this a real human? Is this a real person? Yeah. Lots of called Prince. Lots of emailed called Princess.
Yes.
Special. A girl, and her name was Special, and she was special.
Aren't we all?
You know?
Aren't we all?
I mean, just really extreme. And of course, the spelling, they're all trying to get so creative, and it's constantly, you just want to like smack yourself on the forehead. Like, you are just making life so tough for your kid for the rest of their lives. Like,
yes,
but you know, each their own, whatever.
Is your name Amoeba? And it's Anthony.
Yeah.
That's all right.
The strange spelling choice there.
How about we just call you Andy? Well, that's what my mama said. My mama said my name's Anthony, and it's like, okay, smelled amoeba. She smelled amoeba. Like, which I'm going to be honest is impressive all by itself. Like, not everyone gets that one.
Yeah. You know? It is pretty crazy what some of these people come up with, but.
Yeah, I mean, that's the history of the world, though. Like, there's always been people just, what are you gonna name? I'm gonna name a tree.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Really? I would prefer some crazy random ass name over a continuation. Like, even though we have a lot of them in our family, and I'm not a hater, but we do have a lot of the seconds and the thirds, the juniors, the seniors. You know, all that. And it's great. But at the same time, I like the uniqueness of your own name, your own identity.
Well, I mean, your identity is your identity. The name doesn't make that. But I get what you're saying. I get it. I get it. What I think is interesting are people that have like, I know I'm speaking of one specific person right now that I know is like a fourth, and they have the first name of their father and the last name, but all their middle names are different, and they all go by their middle names. And I was like, that's not how this works. You're just you're supposed to have the whole thing. Like, that's what you're supposed to carry. Like, it's not. Yeah.
My grandson is a third. My husband is a senior. My son is a junior, and then the grandson, he continued it, so he's the third. But he goes by Trey.
Oh,
he doesn't even go by his first or his middle name. Neither one of those he goes by. He goes by Trey. So it's always fun at the beginning of the school year for mom and dad to explain everything. But yeah.
Well, that makes total sense though. But if your name is like, you know, John Edward Smith, and then you name your kid John David Smith, and then John Smith, you're not first, second, and third.
No. Who takes the cake on that one? The George Foreman guy. Didn't he name every one of his kids George?
Yes.
That's fucking weird.
I got to be on it. Like, we were just talking about unique people being their own thing. I respect it.
Oh, I think it's weird. That's what I mean by like the uniqueness. Those poor kids. I don't know.
Well, he's been hitting the head a lot. It's going to be hard. He's got a lot of kids. He's got to remember the name.
Yeah, I made it real easy. Yell George. Somebody
know your name, you know their name. There you go, George.
I mean, to be fair, our experience in our house with all of our kids is everybody has a nickname anyway. Nobody goes, I can't think of one of our kids that we actually call by their first name. I guess one of them we do now, but his entire childhood we called him Doggy. That's because my ex-husband named him his first name, and I couldn't get right with it, and I had a hard time, so I just called him Baby for like the first year and a half of his life. And then we go through a divorce, his father and I meet my current husband, and I just kept calling him Baby, and he was like, why do you just call him Baby? And I was like, because I don't like his first name, like it just feels weird to me. And he's like, well, call him something else, you know. So I guess it doesn't matter. I can call his name is Trace, and my ex-husband named him after his mom. His mom's name was Tracy. And he just started telling everybody when I was pregnant I came home from work one day and he was like, I told my mom we're naming our kid Trace. And I was like, we are? So maybe that was part of it, the bitterness. I was having a hard time accepting it. But anyway, moving forward, my current husband was like, well, just call him something else. Call him Trey. Call him Trey Dog. And so we started out with Trey Dog, and then it went to Dog, and then it went to Doggy. And that's honestly, within a few months, it went to Doggy, and it stuck for over a decade. Yeah.
We call all our kids have nicknames. That's something I think that's definitely in our family too. It's like even
because you,
we
Bubba.
Bubba.
Bubba, I don't ever even, I mean, it's hard for me, even when, for 40 years trying to introduce you to somebody, I've introduced you as Bubba. And people are like,
I
does he
told you
have a
about
name?
that, right? I told you about that when I went to work for the particular company. I'm not going to name anyone, but the person that we knew there, who knew your ex-husband, who knows your current husband, and who worked there and is tied into all that, he had to ask me. He's like, I don't know your actual name, and he's known me for 20 years.
He just knew you as Bubba. Yeah,
he just knew me as Bubba. He just knew me as Bubba. He did. I've known you for forever. I don't know your real name.
Do you know I'm thinking about all of my kids? They know you as Uncle Bubba. I don't know that any of them know what your name is. Like if I had to ask them all, do you know what Uncle Bubba's name is? They would go. I mean, I'm really not sure if they know what your name is.
They might just go with David. I think a couple of them would go with David.
You
know
think?
what I mean?
The older ones maybe, huh? They would know.
Yeah, the older ones I think would know that, but they wouldn't know my actual first name. Like I don't think they know, and that's fine. That's okay. Like whatever.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's funny. You know, I have actually a really funny story about how with
Yeah.
the doggy thing when I was still trying to finish college, go to MTSU, and he was like 3, the youngest I had, and I needed to take him to the on-site daycare that they had at this university, Middle Tennessee State University. And the first day that I get him signed up, he starts the class and he's only going like 2 days a week. And I told the lady that I signed him up with, I told him with the lady that I dropped him off with the first day, he doesn't answer to his name, Trace. He doesn't know his name. He only refers to Doggy. That's the only thing he responds to is Doggy. And I go to pick him up that day and it's a different lady. And I'm like, hey, how'd it go? And he hasn't seen me yet. And she's like, can I talk to you for a second? I'm like, sure. And then she was like, we're not sure. Does he hear okay? Is he? Anyway, long story short, they had been calling him Trace all day and he had not been responding. So she was concerned about him, concerned about, his mental well-being, concerned about his hearing, concerned. And I was like, hey, Doggy. And he just jumped up, mommy, and he comes running. And the expressions of every daycare teacher in that room, they stick in my head forever. Just the shock that we call our kid Doggy. That's when we started going, maybe we shouldn't do this. But we still did it for, many years after that because we couldn't stop. That's how we knew him.
You guys are right up there with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
I know that's
What'd you
pretty
name your
bad.
daughter? Kitty Cat?
I know it's pretty bad, but man, it just fit. It just fit. He was just such a little character, a little ham. It was just, I don't know. It was fun.
Well, I mean, that's how that goes. Like, was it my son when he went to school? And he was P3, so it's like pre-kindergarten. We sent him to a Catholic school, or not Catholic, but so he goes in and goes there, and the teacher, like, we're picking up, right? So we're standing outside to pick up. We stand outside to drop. It's a very small school, and at that time it was a very good school. And the teacher's like, Mr. And she says my last name. I was like, yeah, you just call me David. It's fine. And so we're talking, and she's like, so your son told us to call him Turkey. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah. He says everyone calls him Turkey. I was like,
they do.
I mean, yeah.
They do.
I'm taken aback, but okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a dawner on us. It's like, we need to come up with something that's a little closer to us.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's our turkey baby.
That's what right now, the one that just turned 11, my nicknames for him have been Noodle and Nugget. And so I finished my sleeve. I have a whole sleeve and all of my kids are referenced on there except for him. And he will not let me forget it. He constantly reminds me, you're not done. You didn't put anything on there for me yet. And I'm like, you just turned 11. What am I going to put on there? Like a chicken nugget? a pool noodle. Like, I don't know. I think we need to let you get a little bit older. Because
No,
I felt,
I think you
you
should
know,
commit to the chicken nugget. I think you should quit being such a coward and, fucking go. People are like,
uh,
is that a chicken nugget?" Yes, it
I
is.
mean, I do have some random other stuff on the arm. I mean, I have a tire iron for my oldest.
Yeah, so
I have
there
a
you go.
tire iron for my oldest. My oldest, I honestly truly don't even know if he still believes it, but for a while there, he believed that I pulled the car over and beat his ass with a tire iron on the side of the road. Now, I did threaten him with it. I did. I did say, if you don't stop, I'm going to pull the car over and beat your ass with a tire iron. But I didn't actually do it. Um, I did pull the car over later. I did spank him, but the tire iron was never involved. But the way that his mind remembers that story as a kid, uh, he went through several years there where he was adamant, very adamant that I beat his ass with a tire iron on the side of the road. And, we've gotten past that, but I thought it was funny as hell, so I put a tire iron on my sleeve.
It's it's amazing what, like, especially as kids will convince themselves of and make it reality. And
Yeah,
adults too. Like, adults too,
yeah,
like, if you believe something hard enough, it becomes real. Even
yeah,
if it is not real, it's
yeah, and it's
yeah.
not, it hurts my heart because I did have a little while there when he was really going at it. I was like, "Dude, you have to stop. Like, I didn't beat any of you with anything. Like, that's not I don't shut the fuck up." You know what I mean? Stop telling people that. Stop repeating that as a true story. Like, that's not what I did. Was I perfect?
Mhm.
No, but I didn't beat anybody with a tire iron or with anything. I never beat anybody with
Not
anything,
that anyone can easily prove.
you know? Yeah, there weren't cameras in the house back then.
Yeah,
So,
mama didn't raise no fool. I got no witnesses. It's what I say it is.
but I do have to, but I'm not mad at him. You know what I mean? Like, I hate that that's his memory, and I think he's maybe been trying to deal with that on his own, but I'm not mad at him because I know there's been times when mom and I have talked about a conversation, a story, a memory from back, and she and I remember things completely different. That's
Yeah, I mean,
happened
that's life.
multiple times. So I'm like, okay, it's perspective, it's
Mhm.
age, it's everything else that's going into it from our own experience.
Not my youngest, but my oldest son, who's young, we had a interesting conversation a couple weeks ago, and he was just really emotional. I mean, he's getting to that point, hormones are starting to flow, you know what I mean? And he doesn't know how to deal
Mhm.
with it. And my thing is you have to learn to deal with it. Like, this is
That's
everybody,
yep,
buddy. It's the history of the world.
yep,
Everybody's been where you are. Like, this is crazy, I know, but you're gonna be okay. Anyway, we were talking, and I got onto him for something. He was torn up about it. And I can't even remember what he really hadn't gotten in trouble, but also understand that when I speak, I can speak sternly without meaning to. You know what I mean?
I do too. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's something I'm trying to work on. And I have been, and I continue to, and I understand that, and it is what it is. I'm working on it. And he had told me, he's like, you just tell me that I'm the villain. And I was like, "Villain?" I was like, "What?" He's like, when you were yelling at me," I was like, "1, I wasn't yelling, I was talking." Right? And he's like, "Well, when you were getting on to me," and I was like, "Okay, what did I say?" And we go through it. And I was like, "Buddy, I've never called you a villain. I would never call you a villain. You're one of my favorite people in the world."
yeah,
Uh, and I don't talk like that. I was like, "No one really talks like that other than outside of that." I was like, "I think you heard what you wanted to hear, and you've been emotional and convincing yourself of this. And now
yeah,
that's what it is." And that's for the first time, like, it dawned on me, right? Like, with your son and the tire iron, or memories from child,
mhm,
like, in high stress situations, like, your perspective will shape it
yep,
into a reality that you'll hold on to, and you'll see it that way.
mhm,
And that
mhm,
doesn't mean it is that way.
yeah.
Um, and then, like, once I explained it, I was like, "Here's the thing. Have you ever heard me call anyone a villain?" He's like, I was like,
Yeah.
"Why would I call you a villain? I mean, if I'm gonna call you something, I got a host of better
Oh, yeah,
names."
yeah.
Like,
A lot of other things will come to the tongue quicker than that.
villain's at the bottom, buddy.
Yeah,
That helped, though.
yeah,
That helped, and that was a good lesson for him.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's one of those things. It's the
yeah.
craziest with my daughters.
Girls are hard, man.
Dude, they're
Girls are
nuts.
hard, and they need more. They need more explanation. They need more love. They need more
They come
discipline in
downloaded
a
with
way.
crazy software. This crazy is the
We are
reboot model.
complicated creatures. We are extremely complicated creatures.
You are not complicated. You're just fucking crazy. Men are complicated.
Men are
Men are complicated.
men are not complicated.
Men are complicated. Women are simple.
Wow, you are so backwards.
Like, I like the crying fits. Like, why are you crying? I don't know. That's not complicated. That's a software error.
Oh my
That's a
goodness.
software error. That's unchecked hormones. You know,
Hormones are everything.
hormones are everything.
Yeah, Tuck
Yeah.
just turned 11 and he is dealing with it too. We're having all the same conversations. You know, Mike was
Yeah.
trying to explain to him, like, buddy, this is just how it's gonna be. And he's like, for how long? He's like, till you're like 50, 60. No. I mean, I walked in on the end of that conversation and Tucker was just crying, and I'm like, I'm gonna leave. You can fill me in later. I don't
want this.
know.
I don't want this right now. Oh,
But we have
yes,
honest conversations with Tuck too, and I'm grateful for that. But
yeah.
you know,
I think it is good when your kids are hitting that. 'Cause we had one with our daughter last night who was losing it. And she's been on the struggle bus starting with hormones here for a little while. And it's just, I mean, it's just life, right? Like
is
every
this your
kid,
oldest daughter or your second oldest?
oldest daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it was something.
It gets more fun, I
getting her to
promise.
calm down.
It gets more fun. You know, I have made the joke more times than I can count when people, because we had the 5 boys and the 1 girl, and it's a joke, but I mean it too, that she was more work than all the boys put together. Multiple times in our life. It was a whole year of drama, and then the boys are just, stop. Okay. But her, you have to explain it, and it's tears, and it's girls, you start to get it wrong faster than you think. Your little girl that always you knew exactly how to make her happy. All of a sudden, she comes out of the room, and you're expecting her to be so excited about what you were showing her, and she's not. And that's just where it starts, and it doesn't end. You never exactly know how to make them happy. You never exactly know what kind of mood they're going to be in. You just got to go with it.
I
Like a roller
often think,
coaster.
I think it's more surprising for women and daughters than it is for men and daughters, because men live with women.
So you're saying you're just more used to it than we
Oh
are?
yeah. Oh
Other
yeah, yeah.
females?
Yeah, like it's Candace's, my wife, she's like, I just, and I'm like, no, this is your people. Like, I'll talk
That
to
is
them.
your daughter.
No, I mean, it's just women. It's any woman who's like, I'm logical and I got it together. No, you're not. Right? Like, everybody has moments. And any guy who's like, I am calm and rational under pressure. Yeah, that's why you're shouting at everyone. Like, we all are home. We are driven to do different things, right? It's like why men can sometimes struggle with their sons, mothers sometimes struggle with their daughters, right?
Mhm.
Like the mother and a baby boy, like the boy that, why? Because you've been dealing with men your whole life. As he becomes a man, you just shift your perspective because you understand men, right? You understand and for other men, instead of trying to understand what is coming up, we can sometimes take that as a challenge, or at least not my, but I've seen that with my friends and their dads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're trying to challenge me? He's not. He's just lost and looking for some guidance. That's where the mom steps in. You're just babying him. She's not babying him. She understands what's going on better than you do. And so the daughter or the father will jump in to save the daughter from the mother. It's like, how dare you? She's not trying to usurp your authority or trying to start a fight. All right. Like, this is how you behave sometimes, dude. Just let me deal with it. I got you calm. I'll get her calm. Everything will be fine. I have more hours clocked keeping women calm than women have keeping other women calm.
That's funny.
Just
I
like
never
women
thought
have,
about that. That's funny.
yeah, like you have way more hours clocked keeping men calm than you do keeping women calm.
I sure do.
Yeah. So
Especially all the boys we have,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and you're married. Look, it's
Mhm.
good to have that set in.
Hmm.
And that dawned on me. This conversation that we're having truly dawned on me last night. This is a brand new revelation to me. But
Yeah, I
I was
hadn't
like,
thought
holy
of it.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the bad cop in our house, though. Mike's like, my
I am
husband's a
too.
good guy. He's the good cop. I'm the bad cop, but that's okay though. Like he's spent the majority of the time out of the house working, I'm
Yeah.
the one always here all day, every day. They are the most comfortable with my face. They are the most comfortable with my rules and consequences with me. And I tried really hard over the years
Mhm.
to keep it that way, to be honest. I don't want him to be at work so much and come home and be the bad guy. You
Yeah,
know, back me up when you need
yeah.
to. We're always on the same page, but honestly, I didn't even need him to back me up too much. Maybe the oldest boy, our oldest, those teenage years, yeah, I needed his help. But other than that, I got it.
Yeah, it's with my wife and I'm typically the bad guy, but we share shifts on that because
Mhm.
it weighs on my soul, and I've told her before, it's like, "Hey, I can't always be the bad guy. I get that you don't want it to be this way, but there's only
Oh,
so
yeah,
much of me. There's only so
yeah.
much of me that can do this." You know what I mean? This isn't who I
Mhm.
am. And it's not that that's who she is. Like we for us, we have to share it back and forth. It's just
Yeah.
it's a burden of having to do that. But lucky we don't have to do that all the time. Um, it's pretty rare actually.
If
Outside
you
of the normal keeping chaos together.
I think the beginning years, if you can create a strong team, if you can stay on the same page and follow through with your word when they're little, by the time they're up and running and talking and going to the bathroom on their own and all that, you don't really have to do anything, but they hear your tone and they recognize it.
Yeah, if you're serious in the beginning, I think that's the
Mhm.
ground. That's the ground for everything else. You're laying the foundation that you will be taken seriously, that there is
Mhm.
consequences for actions, that I'm not playing around,
Yep.
and then
And
you don't
lots of
you don't
love,
yeah.
lots of love. I learned in one of my criminal justice classes, I don't know where we touched base on this, but they said the best children and the best home is a warm and restrictive home. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's exactly what a lot of
Yeah.
love. We never beat anybody's ass without explaining to them first why that's gonna happen?
Yeah, it's you have to have boundaries and
Mhm.
discipline, but you also have to let them know they're loved. I tell my kids I love them
Oh, yeah.
constantly throughout the day, and
Yeah, all
my
day.
oldest daughter was going through her preteen, whatever, and she just stopped saying it back. And she was up in her bunk bed, whatever, being her moody self that she is.
Mhm.
And I looked at her and I was like, "So what's up?" And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, I told her, I tell you I love you. You don't say anything. Mom says she loves you. You don't say anything. You're not responding." She's like, "I know you do. You know I do." And I was like, "Then maybe I should just stop saying it too." She just kind of looked at me. I was like, "If you know it, then I shouldn't have to say it, right? I shouldn't have to give you hugs. I shouldn't have to, take care of you when you're sick. You know that I love you." She immediately got teary-eyed, and I was like, "It's not like that. You just need to understand that words have power, and I love you." And she said, "I love you too."
Yep.
And then that stopped. So,
Yeah.
that's I'm lucky I can talk things through with her, it's
Mhm.
again, I can like, I love my wife, but occasionally I'll have to jump in when she's frustrated, and I mean, she does it too. When I'm frustrated, she absolutely does. There's certain points that I
Mhm.
walk through, and I'm just like, "Hey, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. I've been
They
fighting the
pushed
battle all
all of
day."
my buttons. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
whatever
Mhm.
reaction comes next for me is not healthy for
It's not
anyone.
good for anybody. Yeah. No, been there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom now for 2 hours. Just leave me
Yep.
alone. Everybody leave me alone. It's too
Yep.
cold to go outside. Uh, so that's, I love my kids. I'm glad I have them all. I've never heard anyone in their life when they're older say that, "Gee, I wish I had less kids."
Nah.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
That's not how it goes, especially once you put in all the work.
I'm this far in. You know what I mean? I'm this far in. I'm
Yeah.
waiting I'm waiting on some big tax bracket cut or, one of those big, checks from the government for every person in the household. It's like you tell my wife, "That's when we're gonna make it, baby. That's when we're gonna make it." It's never coming, but
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
don't hold my breath.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I don't on a happy note, I got so we have chickens. We have 12 large chickens, and, we're going on a vacation soon. I don't know when this is gonna air. It doesn't matter, but by the time it airs, I'm sure we'll be back. But we're going to the Keys for a week and, a little over a week. And our concern was our chickens. Like, we have someone to come take our dog out and let her out for the day and put her up and all that kind of jazz. But the chickens are a handful, especially for this particular person, where it's our mom, to come over and do this. And it's been a concern. I think like opening the chickens, keep it because you can't keep them in there too long. You need to be it's not like the dog where you can be a little more
Yeah.
relaxed. These things need to be more prompt. So they sold this automatic door on Amazon that I bought. Only it won't work for our chicken coop because we have a ridiculously bougie chicken coop. Whatever. I have the wrong kind of door. It's not going to work. And so like I can't let this go. So this is my Saturday. This is last Saturday. That's what I spent doing it. And I bought a solar panel, solar charge control. I bought a large solid state battery, and then this automatic door. And I wired it all together. And it has a mechanical telescoping rod that comes back and forth that used to operate the door. So then I connect wires to this telescoping rod, steel cable, run it through a pulley system that now pulls up the weighted door that has bricks on it to keep raccoons and stuff out. And we were able to hook it up to a timer.
That's so cool.
So now she doesn't have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, no, it just took all day. It's a lot of swearing. I threw several things.
Yeah, but don't you feel good? I know when I do a project, it's so like, hell yeah, I did that when you're done.
It's
It's a great accomplishment.
it's
It's
pretty
satisfying.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's automated. Like you just look out there and the chickens are out, and at night the door's down and the chickens are in. Like
Yeah, that's great.
it would have been nice if it was an easy adaptation,
Mhm.
but it was not.
Yeah.
But whatever, it worked out.
You said it's solar powered?
Mhm.
Yeah. You get enough sun, the trees around there don't shade or
So
anything?
it has a large battery with it, and the solar panel set up to trickle charge the battery throughout the day, where it doesn't have
Okay.
enough power to operate instantly. It does have enough power to trickle charge the battery throughout the day for that to
Okay.
run.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so that was something I had to over because some of them, like when the sun comes up, it powers it, but where it is on the side of the house, like that means the door would be open at like 10 in the morning when the sun's fully on the panel.
Mhm.
But I also you can do the math, and I leave that to my wife who's far better at that. We didn't need that. I just need this thing to run a trickle of X number of volts throughout the day to keep this battery topped up. And the draw on it is minimal. So even
Hmm.
if like the solar panel got taken off in the storm and we're gone for a week, that thing should run it for a couple weeks
Oh, good.
without it being trickle charged.
Good.
So
That's in
that
my
was it.
mind. I was just thinking, what if it's a cloudy day and then the door doesn't work that night? You know what I mean? Like,
No, yeah, no, it has a battery, so it's just
good.
it charges as it can. And for things like that, like solar panels have gotten good. Um, for stuff like that, like our security cameras, several of our security cameras that I've expanded the system run off solar panels. They charge an
Mhm.
internal battery, and they do an incredible job. It's wild.
Well, that's good. When we were heavy into, because we have an RV, and when we were camping a lot a couple years back, I had bought some solar powered lights, and they didn't work for shit. Like
Oh,
our
no,
big
they won't.
sunny days in the summertime, it'd be great. They would be hung up. They would be lit all night. But
Mhm.
if it was a dark, cloudy day or in the wintertime when we camped, they were worthless.
Yeah, and that's and for things like that they're cheaper too. So, like, the solar panel charged units that I bought for the chicken coop thing it was several $100. Like,
Mm,
it's yeah. There's like anything, right? Like, you
yeah,
get the little solar lights, even the ones on like I have solar lights on my walkway, they're kinda shit. They'll stay
yeah.
lit for a couple hours after dark, and then they're done. But the ones for the security cameras they have are amazing, and the type of system that they are, cloudy days don't affect it, and you can look at the charge rate and see how it's keeping the battery topped up. So that's a good thing. But yeah, no, I built a solar door opener and closer. Our only worry now is who's gonna get the eggs. Hopefully mom will.
Well, I'm sure
We'll
she
see.
will. Yeah,
Yeah. Keep them. Keep all the eggs you want.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
producing 7 to 9 a day.
That's so cool. I would
That's
love to have fresh eggs.
that's the break even for us.
Yeah, I would love to.
Get
I
some
know
chickens.
I know that's a lot of work for 7 to 9 eggs a day.
You know what though? I think you would be a crazy chicken lady. My wife turned into a crazy chicken. I'm saying this is my son's
No, I
4-H
would.
project.
I would. The chickens would love me. I would love them. Like, no, it would be a
Yeah,
fucking vibe. Yeah.
oh yeah, my
Mhm.
wife, like, she just wants to spend time out there with the chickens.
Yeah.
Like that's it. That's why I built that extra large cage for them to go out to, instead of
Go hang
underneath. So I
out
was
with
like,
them
no,
in
no. I
there. Yeah.
was like, yeah, they're fine underneath. They don't need one. She's like, that's not fair. They need a better life. I was like, and here it
Mhm.
begins.
Yep.
She's like, can we get another one of those? And I was like, no. We're getting nuts. We're getting
Yeah.
nuts. But I think you'd love it. I think if you had like 3 or 4 chickens, it's all you would need. You get,
Mhm.
2 or 3 eggs a day,
Mhm. Oh,
something
I
like
think I
that.
would absolutely love it. We just don't have any space. Not even
You
room,
don't need
especially with
much.
Well, our our plans in the backyard where we just
Yes.
did that patio, and then we're gonna do the pool on the side. That really does not leave us much space back there at the end at all.
Alls you need is as much space as we have. You got that.
Mm, we'll
Put it
see.
back by
We'll
the
see when
fence.
it's all done. We'll see.
You know what you
'Cause
need?
I
You
have
need
no
to
room for a garden either. It's kinda one or the other.
yeah. Well, I would take the garden over chickens, but I think if you came and hang out with our chickens, the first time you pick it up and you start petting it and it starts cuddling into you, you're gonna be like, "I'm getting chickens."
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is, man. Like, I go to the co-op and stuff to get whatever, their
Mhm,
feed and bedding and stuff like that, and the crazy chicken ladies are there when the little chicks are there.
mhm.
Just
Why they
scooping
gotta be
'em.
crazy chicken ladies?
You met me? It's like a crazy cat lady. It's an accurate statement.
Mm.
How many cats you got? 40. Oh.
See, I knew we were getting there.
How many chickens you got? I have 100 chickens. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, there's crazy dog ladies too then.
Yes. I think crazy dog dudes are a little more common.
Do you know, it totally reminds me, we had this old man who was always in trouble with the law here where we live, and when I was a probation officer, I lucked out and got him on my caseload for a couple years, and we called him the Cat Man, like, that was his name. He had
Oh,
hundreds of cats in his home. He
yeah.
was trying to breed a certain kinda cat,
Mhm.
and every time he would get in
Allegedly.
trouble and the law would show up at his house, he had cats all dead cats everywhere, like, all through the freezers and the fridges and, all around the outside of the house, and he smelled, ugh,
Yep.
so bad. When he came in, like, he stunk up the entire waiting area, he stunk up the hallway, he stunk up my office. Like, I kept spraying a candle for his reporting day. He was supposed to report. Now, this is some shit right here. I guess I can admit it. I don't think I can get in trouble anymore. But, almost everybody on my caseload was supposed to report every week, and I
Mhm.
put him, like, once a month. Fuck that shit. I don't wanna smell that every week. Nope.
Nobody wants to
I'll
deal
see
with
you
it.
once a month, sir. I mean, he was 70 something years old, like, once a month.
Just biding time at this point. What are we harassing the old guy for?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so, my wife has or had, a great uncle that was a hoarder and a cat person. Like, he wouldn't spend money on himself, but he would buy top tier food for the cats, and it was something. I mean, it was something. I had a professor, when I went to Nashville State Community College, teacher there, she used to teach, she didn't teach, she worked at Johns Hopkins for a while in, like, neural research and stuff, and then when her mom got sick, she moved down here to take care of him, she was teaching one of my biology classes, and, can't remember which one, but I always remember this about her. First thing she opened, she's like, "Yes, I'm a crazy cat lady. Yes, I have a lot of cats. I love cats. I'll talk to you about cats or biology." It's like, "If you don't wanna talk about cats or biology, we don't need to talk." Like, I was just like, "Holy
Okay.
shit." I
Wow.
appreciated the upfront honesty, though,
Yeah.
and she smelled a little weird.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Yeah.
really bad, and that just means like, I don't know. We have 2 Maine Coons, and they're huge, and I love them, but, we have to stay on top of that litter box. We have to stay on top of
Yeah.
everything, like, ugh, can't have that in my
Well, 2
house.
cats isn't crazy cat territory. I think you have to go
Mm-mm.
like, once you cross, like, 3 cats, you staying at 3 cats? Alright. You're at 4 cats? You're a crazy cat person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my kids has a friend who has, I think, around 7 or 8 cats, and they're all on different diets, and they all get fed different food at different times of the day. And so, yeah, so if she goes out of town, like, it's a huge thing to have somebody come to the house to take care of her cats because, like, she doesn't really leave hardly ever because of it. That's insane to me. But, I mean, to each their own. If that's what fulfills her, maybe
If
she's
that's what's
somebody who's
making you
never gonna
happy,
want kids, I really don't
maybe.
know this person. I don't know them at all, but, that's where my mind goes, like, "Okay, I don't know, there's people who have kid problems. I mean, look at these people with 9, 10, 11, 12 kids. Like, when
Eh,
when do you know enough is enough?
are they taking care of them or are they just having them?
Well, are you having the older ones take care of the younger ones? Because that's not cool. I'm
Well,
not a fan of that. These families that have, like, 15, 20 kids, and then all it is once they hit 10 years old, they're taking care of the newborn kids that come
yeah,
along,
it
and
it 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 gets into
that's
a
not
weird it gets into a weird thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I agree with that. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm
Because
very
then
pro big families. We have big families, you and I.
yeah, we have big families, but our kids are not raising themselves or each other. We
Yeah,
are still managing them, and that's the difference, I think. Some people are like,
yeah,
"Oh, I can handle all 12 kids." Yeah, because half of them are raising each other. You're not
yeah.
doing that. You're
You're talking about,
telling
like,
these
those
kids
crazy Mormon families. Yeah,
yeah, usually,
yeah,
but
usually.
there are a lot. I see a lot on TikTok. I didn't realize every once in a while it's like a whole new big ass family, and I'm like, "Good God." And they're always announcing a new pregnancy. It's always a new pregnancy.
It's almost like yeah, I've seen that too, and it's always what, like, is the pregnancy thing like a well, I'm
Is it
pro big
attention?
families,
I don't
I'm
know.
pro-life, I don't know, like, they're all in one family, they're all being taken care of, you can feed them, you can house them, you're taking care of them. To what extent, like, I think it's easy to judge, but I don't know the details. Mine are the ones that are having these massive families, and they're not taking care of any of them. Like, what was the one dude that was on, was it Montel Williams or something back in the day? It's a famous clip, maybe it was Ricky Lake from back in the day. It's like one guy's got 73 kids.
Oh, well, he was just fucking
You're like,
everybody without a condom. I
"Oh,
mean,
yeah," I mean, that's the thing, and the women
and
but
proud
the
of it.
like oh, yeah, but you looked at the women, and they're like, "Why are you still doing this?" She's, "Well, I already got 7 kids," and you're like, "And now you got 8."
Yeah.
Like, how do you take care of these kids? Well, my grandparents have them, or they're in the system, or I've like, oh, so we're taking care of them.
Mhm.
Like, what's that to me is a problem. I mean, but if you got 14 kids and you're all together, I mean, there's pitching
Mm.
in. Like, there's the thing. Like, why did they have large families in the past to work on the farm? Everybody had to work on the farm. You're 5, cool. Go grab that horse, plow that field. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, hopefully it won't kick you, but if it does,
Yeah.
I have replacements. So I don't know. I don't know. I like big families. I like to see that that's making a comeback. That's the only way we perpetuate our culture.
Yeah, a
Otherwise,
lot
we
of
end up
people
like
don't I was thinking about this because all of my older kids are sort of in that generation that stopped. They don't feel the
yes.
need to have kids anymore. They're just like, "I don't need to do that. I don't." The pressure is gone for them, and I'm
Mhm.
happy for them because people that don't want babies should not be having babies.
People that don't want babies should not have babies.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it's also a little scary because it's like, "Woo, if this many people are stop having babies, like, things are gonna change."
So the most interesting part is that like my generation, which I don't know. I think my wife would be better suited to talk about this. She's way into that kind of science.
What are you? Are you Gen Z? What are
I'm
you?
technically a millennial.
Millennial, okay, because 'cause I'm Gen X.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Technically, I'm a millennial. Some of them put me in like the Gen X, depend because they keep moving it around. So they've come out with this new term that's
yeah,
exennial. So if you're 75 to 85, you're an exennial because you're not really a Gen X. You're not really a millennial. The life experiences you had, like you saw the internet in high school. You know what I mean? Like that was a thing. Whereas people older than you did not.
Oh, you're saying born 75 to 85. I
Yes.
thought you were saying if they are 75 to 85 now, and I was like, "Dude, that's way
No,
older
no,
than
no, no,
Gen
no. If
X."
you're born
Okay,
1975 to 1985.
okay, I
Yeah,
got you, yeah.
so, like, I one of the prevailing theories that's out there, and I think it really is gonna shape it, instead of being these 20 plus year increments or whatever, we need to start basing it off technology. And the reality is your generations are gonna get smaller, not larger. Like, we've always used it as a measure, okay, because
Mhm.
cinnamoroll life experiences for thousands of years. Except now in the last 100 years, technology's advanced so quickly. Like, my kids who would be generation alpha, the spread between my oldest to my youngest, really, they should probably be in different generations because the technology my oldest is encountering that my youngest was gonna come up with is just normal, as AI is a normal part of your life.
Yeah.
And my son's gonna say, I remember, like, having to charge everything, and then we had like, dad would do like, I had to, mow the yard as a kid, not the
Yeah,
robot
had to
chef,
type
like
in my Google questions. I
yeah,
didn't
like,
just
this
ask
is
it out
what?
loud. Yeah.
Yeah, the drastic difference in technology is really what separates, but as I understand it, the exennial to millennials are having a lot of kids.
Hmm,
Like, that's the birth rates coming back.
okay.
Yeah, in a way, like, if we have to have I think it's, 2.2 kids, whatever, on average, um, to continue basically a society, a culture, and, for a while, America was declining, and now we're not. People are like, "Well, we have an influx in the migrant and immigrants, they have a lot of kids." They do, but if you take that out of the equation, we're still coming back. Like, large families, like, look at TikTok. How many of those people having large families are younger? They're under 40.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. That's this swing towards family and faith is just kind of eating everything up. And I think it's the absence of it for so long. The boomers, I think, are the most interesting to look at. They're the only generation to ever have to be reminded that they had children and it was late at night and they should probably know where they are. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are
Mhm.
right now? Holy shit, we have kids. Every night? How much lead fumes did you ingest?
I was gonna say boomers would also be the hippies, right? Boomers
Yeah.
would be the era of the hippies, so maybe
Well,
it's just
I mean, the hippie era, I think, is argued not so much as free love as it is just selfishness and focus on you.
and just let things be, and maybe that's part of
Because
just
I
that
don't care what
carefree
affects me.
attitude of,
Me,
everything
me,
is
me.
fine, go play, kids, and see you
Yep.
tonight, and yeah.
Yeah. It's the endless pensions. I mean, and I get it. Like in economics, we learn everyone acts in their own best self-interest. So the best self-interest is to perpetuate what is good for you. But nothing has ever been so embodied as the boomers, not to shit on them, but it's just statistics, and statistics aren't lying, right? Like these huge pensions that we would hear about it, like, why didn't you go get this job? I got a job in a factory. Yeah. And when you became a manager, you outsourced all the labor so you could maximize your bonus. Your uncle who gave you the job had that same opportunity, yet he didn't do it. He kept it here so that you could have a job and that these people in town could have a job. But when you were given the opportunity, you burned that bitch to the ground, took all the money and fucking ran. And then you just shit on everyone else. Like, what are you doing? Like pension programs for old, like look at some of these old pension programs. You work 20 years and you get 80% of your fucking salary for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Nothing like that ever exists. 100% health, like the old Ford pensions, the
Mhm.
crazy old Ford pensions. Work 25 years, we'll cover your medical and you'll get the same amount of money you made then forever. Cool. So this guy retired at 45, 47. He's been retired for 40 years.
Yeah.
And when the union votes to get these increases in rates, he gets an increase in his pension. When they get new health benefits, he gets them first, right? Because he's first in. He's the longest standing member of that. What?
Yeah,
Dude,
there's
when
nothing like
like
that anymore.
no, and the thing is that's never been in history. When you couldn't fucking chew the leather anymore, you went out in the wilderness on your own. You
Yeah.
can't drag everyone down. Like that's not how this is. We'll take care of you to an extent, but what value are you adding? Like our current budget, there's over $55 trillion in debt that we're carrying, right? Or potential debt, depending on how you want to calculate future expenses. The largest expense item is Medicare and Medicaid. It's the largest one. It's larger than the defense budget. It's larger than any. It's crazy.
Are there more people left in that generation than in the
They're
others?
living longer. They'll with worse health. They'll live longer with worse health that we'll pay for
Than was expected of in the when this
than anyone cared to think
began.
of.
Yeah.
Than anyone cared to think of.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing. It's You can look at some of it, like there's a lot of comedians who'll do things on it, and it is fun to make fun and poke. But I also understand that the baby boomers were the first generations that were experimented on by corporate America. They were the first ones to have like unfettered preservatives put in their food and additives. And back in the day when it was the nuclear age and we were proud of it, they actually put pieces of uranium in Cracker Jack boxes.
What the heck?
It was in a ring, so you could have a real nuclear ring. Is that real uranium? Like, what are you doing? The
Wow.
lead in gas, right? Like lead, it softens the engine. There's 100 other things we could have done other than put lead in fuel, but they did it anyway. The problem with that is when the gas is ignited and burned off as a fume, that lead is then aerosolized, like it's in the air, and they're breathing
Isn't
it
it in
in.
all the paint and all the schools and
Yeah,
everything as
well,
well?
that's as long as you don't eat the paint chips, you're fine. What they don't talk about is breathing in those gas fumes.
Hmm.
You're breathing in lead fumes, especially when it's ran through a car. And so that's like baby boomers, like that 1,000-yard lead paint stare they get, or the weird rage, dude. That's like you've been lead poisoned. you know,
Gosh.
it's a wild thing, man. It's a wild thing. The pesticides they were allowed to use and used regularly, and that their parents might have them go use or whatever. crazy things that it would do to people's nervous systems, their brain, their development. Like they were the first ones.
Hmm.
So it's I think it's just it's wild and fascinating to look at things like that, but it also can send you into a rage if you can't disassociate a little bit from it.
What's the next one under boomers? Like, what's after boomers? What's in between boomers and Gen X?
What's in between?
Mm-hmm.
So you have the greatest generation, and then you had the greatest generation that had the boomers, and then the boomers had Gen X, and technically the millennials, some of the millennials as well, but also Gen X started having millennials, and then you had Gen Z, the Zoomers.
So that it goes
So
from boomers to Gen X.
yeah, that's why a lot of your older boomers or your older Gen Xers are a lot like boomers. Like you're born in the 60s, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you've met those people. You're like, man, what the fuck's your problem? You know what I mean? Like, be kind to your waitress. Like, what is your problem?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they don't know who I am. I shouldn't have to wait. The customer is always right. The customer is always right. How dare you speak to me? Don't talk to me while you hand me your food, my food. Don't, like crazy shit. But there's age brackets that's just how they are.
Hmm.
And then before the greatest generation, you had the silent generation, who everyone just kind of forgot about. The Gen X is often referred to as the modern silent generation. Just kind of they're there, but they didn't like most of your Gen Xers don't want to be executives. They don't want to run companies. They don't want to start businesses. They just want to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like not all of them. Like obviously not all of them, but if we take it and weight it as an average here, the average is they don't. Most of your CEOs that are coming up are what I would consider exennials, but they would consider millennials.
Mm-hmm.
That's your next wave of executives and leadership that's taking over companies everywhere because they want to. They're trying to move ahead. They're trying to, and again, like Gen Xers tend to kind of keep doing the same job they've always done, and they're working for their new CEO who is 20 years younger than them or 10 years
I
younger
do
than them.
feel like Gen Xers don't. They're not trying to fight about shit.
Mm-mm.
They're just trying to survive.
Yeah, they also took the brunt of boomer parenting,
Mm-hmm.
which was either ridiculously intense for no real reason or entirely hands off.
Mm-hmm. Or both a little bit.
Like, yeah, a little bit of both back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crazy thing. Like, what was the movie with Matthew McConaughey in the 70s? What was that?
Which one?
Where he was in the 70s and he just got out of high school and all those kids in high school, it was the last day and they're paddling those kids as they run around that town in Texas. Oh, man. I have to know what it is now.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking
It had
about.
Mila Jovovich in it. It had all kinds of people. It's
Of course you know. Of course you know that she was in it.
of course. Like I think it was like Matthew McConaughey's first movie.
I remember there was a legal one.
Dazed and Confused.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Okay. So the premise of Dazed and Confused when it was made and released, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is the difference between like right now and like 2008.
What do you mean?
When that movie came out in the 90s and was
Mm-hmm.
talking about the 70s, that's the difference basically between like right now and
Oh,
like
like
2008.
the amount of time in
Yeah.
between.
Maybe
Okay.
2009. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy to think.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, think about that for a second. Like that's That's not even like 2008, 2000. That's not even OJ territory. That's not Kurt Cobain. That's not grunge rock. That's none of that. That's even further back.
Getting old is weird. Keeping
Like
things on a timeline in your brain is weird.
yeah, if you think about like an old car, right? Like what does it take to be an old car? I think is it 20 years? Like a car for 20 or 25 years?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think it's 25 years.
Something like yeah.
So remember that Honda, or not the Honda, but remember the Ford Escort?
Yeah.
That's a classic car.
It's also dead in the mud somewhere too.
I've been looking for one to try and buy one.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. Can't find them.
Yeah.
Or the ones I have found, I was like, I'm not buying that.
When we were just in Dollywood last weekend, they have that one little area in Dollywood has all the old cars. Oh, and I was loving that. I wish we could have got inside of them. Everything was locked up. But it'd be cool to have an old car like that. I would drive it.
What do you mean, like a 91 Ford Bronco?
Only a white one, though.
Only a white one. Eddie Bauer edition.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, like that's classic car.
That's
Classic
funny.
car. Classic autumn. Like when I think classic car, I think like 60s and 70s cars, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the reality is it's 90s.
That's crazy.
Like, what was it? If the Wonder Years, like the Wonder Years TV show, right, came out in the 90s talking about the early 70s.
Uh-huh.
If that was to be today, that would be like 2001, 2002, or was it be like 2005, something like that, right in there.
Which is just not that freaking long ago. Because I look for me to put that in perspective, that's when my kids were little. You know what I mean? That's when my older kids were little. To me, that's
Exactly.
not. Alyssa was born in 98.
Mhm.
Like, my firstborn daughter was born in 98. That's not that long ago to me. Now she is 27, so apparently that is a minute ago, but dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing for a classic car. So like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's 27 years. I don't. I can't remember. I'm not into cars. I just think it's interesting. Like you look at those perspectives and like the difference in it, and it's like
Mhm.
it's like, oh, that movie's about a long time. I remember watching that as a kid. It's like, man, this was in the 70s. It was crazy running around town doing these things. I feel that way when I tell my kids stories now about like rolling houses with TP and egging friends' houses and
Mhm.
stupid shit that I definitely did a lot of. Wrapping my coach's house in like industrial ceramic or not ceramic, the saran wrap, the plastic
Mhm.
saran wrap, because he had lived in a little house and his door opened out, his screen door opened out. So we wrapped the whole house, the windows and doors, which
Mhm.
hypothetically, had he had a fire,
Yeah. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that, kids. Don't do
don't
that.
do that, kids.
Yeah. That was
But like,
bad.
dude, I got pulled over by the cops when we were egging homes and doing toilet paper, and they made us do basically push-ups until we just
Mhm.
fell on our face, and we had to eat as many of the raw eggs until someone threw up. Right? Like
Yeah.
that's what you did.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
then they just let you go. They didn't
Yep.
even take the rest of the eggs and toilet paper. They're just like, go on.
I never got busted. I never threw eggs. I wasn't that kid. I had friends who did it. I had friends who, those they call it like the crayon apples or whatever they are, those big
Oh,
green
whoa,
things
that's
that
serious.
fall. No,
Yeah.
they used to throw those at houses.
No,
I
no, that's
I
too
was
much.
like, I
No.
didn't hang with that kind of stuff. I don't understand that would I think because we were always so poor
Mhm,
that the rich kids would do stupid shit like that, and the
mhm.
consequences they didn't understand the same as me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? When they would be like,
we
"Hey, we're gonna go do this," and I'm like thinking, my parents, like, we wouldn't be able to go to the grocery store for 2 weeks if you busted out our window when we were a kid. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah, no, I never busted any windows. Like,
Like
eggs, you'd egg someone's door. You
mm,
we never I never egged anyone's car. I never did anything to anyone's car. None of my friends
mm.
did anything to anyone's car because that's someone's car. You know what I mean? Like, that's but, like,
I was
you
always
gotta
afraid
throw
of car
eggs.
alarms too. I didn't even
Yeah.
TP cars because I was afraid if you touched it, it would start "Rear, rear, rear."
No,
Yeah.
so, like, we would throw it at the house, at the door, at the mailbox, at the steps, you know what I mean? Just it's you spray it off, it's not a big deal.
No, we
TP,
put
we did
dog
that a
shit.
lot.
We put dog shit on porches, so if you stepped out on it.
I never did that, I never picked up any
We
dog
did
shit.
I think it was cow patties, actually. I think we scooped up some cow patties.
I thought I was gonna get my face torn off by a German Shepherd.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was out with my buddy Kyle, it was my junior year Halloween, and, it was me and him. Who else was there? Dustin. That fuck it doesn't matter. But we're rolling in his ex-girlfriend's house, right? Because of course that's what we're gonna do. And where we lived, and it's a country, right? And it's a little house. I mean, there's houses kind of around it. We'd call it a neighborhood, but like no one would consider that a neighborhood. Like they're pretty far apart.
Yeah.
And there's huge ditches on the side of the road for rainwater and all that. The big like you can get down in ditches.
Yeah.
And so his ex-girlfriend's mom was there and her mom's boyfriend was there. And like we're outside and before we can do anything, like the light flicks on and there's a dog barking and we all get down in the ditch, right? And we're all just like, all right, stay quiet, stay quiet.
Yeah, yeah,
Whatever. Like we walked all the way down here. We parked at the church down the road. Like we hiked a half mile in. Like
yeah,
we're committed here, guys.
yep,
You know what I mean? We're doing this.
yep, hide and wait, yep.
Yeah, hide and wait. We'll
Yep.
wait them out. This is where we are. It's like, okay. And I'm hearing, and I look over, and it's my buddy Kyle, and he's like, and he looks over, and I look over, and it's a German Shepherd.
Coming
Like,
at you?
no, just it's
Standing
there.
there?
Yeah,
Okay.
like they let the dog out.
Oh.
Yeah, but like he was barking in the house. He came out. He wasn't barking anymore, and he's just like standing there staring. I'm like, like that, and the dog. I'm like, oh my god! I thought I was gonna die. And they end up calling the damn thing back in, like Brutus or whatever the hell its name was, and he jumped out of the ditch and came over like just whew.
Oh, we TP'd a house. I knew the friends that I did it with, but I didn't know whose house we were TPing. It was a friend that they knew because I didn't know anybody in Hartsville. But it was off Highway 10 in Hartsville, and right in the middle of us putting out toilet paper, like throwing up a big tree out in the front. So you throw it way up and hope it catches something. You do it over and over. And right then I had just thrown, and all of a sudden the lights came on, and everybody like gets real still. And we look, we start running, and dude came out and shot off his porch into the air, and that's the last time I ever TP'd anything in my life.
I never had that happen.
Scared the shit out of me. Like, to me, that was extreme. To me, that was, this isn't fun anymore. You don't bring a gun to a TP event. You don't do that. You know what I mean? Now that I'm older, I get it.
Yeah, you're just scaring the kids.
Because we were really fucking up houses with that shit. I mean, these big, beautiful trees and these big plantation homes, and for 2 weeks, it's got toilet paper stuck in the trees and hanging from it because you can't get it out. You cannot get up there and get it out. You just have to wait it out. Thankfully, toilet paper is biodegradable. It does break down. It does sort of come apart and go away, but it takes a minute. And until then, your shit looks like shit. And I'm really sorry to anybody out there that I did,
Shit, I'm not.
I am. I do feel bad, but that's like the worst shit I did,
I've faced the parents of people's houses I've TP'd. They're like, was that you? I have no idea what you're saying.
It's funny because they don't do it anymore, but like if you think back in those times, any Friday or Saturday night on a given day, you would literally see someone young coming out of Dollar General with a big pack of toilet paper, and everybody knew, we know what you're doing tonight. Like it was just a kid thing. It was just you just hoped harmless. It wasn't your house. That's it. You just hoped it wasn't your house.
You only roll your friends. You don't roll unknown. Like you're not doing this to unknown. Like you had teenagers. I didn't do that. I only did it to people I knew who it was, or like dude's ex-girlfriends or whatever. Like I was like, listen, I don't have any problem with her, but I'm down to roll. Let's go to Walmart and steal the big rolls out of the bathroom, the big long continuous rolls.
Yeah, I rolled a lot of houses. I didn't know the people. I just knew because we had just. You got to think from when our ages where you grew up, where you rolled toilet paper at. I had just moved to Tennessee and started making friends and rolling. So I'd be like, where are we going?
On them.
They're like, we're going to Joe Smith's house. And I'm like, let's go. You know what I mean? I have no fucking clue who Joe Smith is, but let's do it.
Yeah, well, that's different. Like you have someone like, no, it's you're relying that they're telling you the right thing.
Yeah.
But
which is also why the really was like, I don't know where I'm at. This is a really stupid
dude. Highway 10 used to be that little holler as you'd go through there was sketchy. There's some sketchy people living down there. There's a little Highway 10 bar, which was always an interesting spot.
Oh, do you remember? Because it was a dry county, and off Highway 10, I remember there was this little trailer, and everybody knew it. I don't know how the cops had to know it. Honestly, they probably
Bean Patch
too, but I don't remember the name. But it was just looked like a little home, a little mobile home, but they had a driveway that went around back. So you would pull in and go around back, honk your horn. They'd come out and you could buy. They had like a whole walk-in freezer cooler thing back there because it was a dry county.
Is that off 31? Were you talking about the one off 31, the one off Highway 10, or the one out towards Reboln?
This one was off Highway 10.
Okay, yeah, the little.
And it was when we first moved to Tennessee. It was gone before I left. Like they had already shut it down.
So they ended up relaunching it as like its own little bar type thing that everyone just ignored. And there was another one off 31 outside of Westmoreland.
Mm.
that you could do the same thing. And there was another little place. Of course, I knew this from high school. There's another
Yeah.
little place you could go to. It's called the Bean Patch. Now they would sell to you if you're underage. And it was like that. It was like a shed with coolers in it.
Uh-huh.
They would
Yeah.
sell to you, but they wouldn't let you drive away. They're like, all right, you boys can do it, but you can't leave here. And we're like, all
Oh.
right. And they were
Uh-uh.
always, and the cops were always cool with it. Like they were just like, all right, just don't leave. You know what I mean? Like I went to a field party one time where the cops wouldn't let any of us leave till the morning because everyone was so
Wow.
hammered. And he's like, so if you want to go right now, he's like, that's fine. You can get in my car. We'll take you to the police station. You can call your parents, or you're going to stay here tonight. We're going to make sure you're okay in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can deal with your parents and explain why you weren't here. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
everybody took the stay there option. Like, oh, we'll stay here. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
And they even bring in a different cop. Like that cop left and a new one sat, but they watched us and there was probably 30 of us. And they just, nobody arrested us. Nobody tried to ruin our lives. No one tried to get, they're just like,
no,
you're sleeping in your cars or your field. No one's going anywhere. If you do, we're going to arrest you. Like, and everyone was like, all right, you got us.
it was different back then. It was different. Even like when we all had fake IDs or we tried to use somebody else's, the worst thing they did was they took it away from you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Worst thing, if you got busted trying to use somebody else's ID or a fake ID, get into a club, they just kept it and they told you to go home, stop being stupid. That's it. When I was at the probation office, I had so many kids for underage consumption. And it was like, I would just flat out tell them, guys, this shit didn't happen to me when I was your age.
No.
Like they didn't arrest us.
No.
They sent us home and took our shit away. They kept our alcohol. You know what I mean? They just slapped us on the wrist, told us to go home. I hate what they do to the kids now. They put them in the system at 19 years old.
Yeah,
We're going to put you on
blindly.
probation. We're going to, maybe they'll give them a retirement, but that, even if it's something that's going to come right off of their record, it's still putting them in the system and exposing them to a life that everybody should just try to stay the fuck away from, as far as I'm concerned. I don't want my kids, if any of my kids get in trouble, I'm going to do my very best to pay that shit off and get them out of there as fast as they can. I don't want them to know those people. I don't want them to get comfortable there. I don't want them to get familiar with it. Stay out of the system.
Yeah, the system's broke. And now you just have too many cops that are just so eager to exercise ridiculous authority over people for nothing. Yeah. For nothing. I was actually watching a video, and this was a lawsuit. The guy's qualified immunity got stripped away because the guy's one of those First Amendment auditors, right? And he's auditing this guy like at this facility, and this cop just can't let it go. And he's some desk jockey in the back doing paperwork. But he's, pushed his hand on the guy's throat and is pushing him back. You don't know me. I'm not the one today. And the guy's like, what are you doing? He's like, you realize you're like, he's trying to rationalize with this guy. And the other cops are trying to grab the cop and he's throwing him off. And you're just like, it took 4 years. And that cop went ahead and took his early retirement and pension. And the city continued to fight to give him qualified immunity so that he wouldn't have to fight his aggravate, because he pulled his weapon. His like, this thing got way out of hand. And 4 years for them to be like, all right, qualified immunity doesn't apply. Now the lawsuit can do. I'm like, 4 years? Why are we not acting immediately? There's one viral video of a cop assaulting another officer who's trying to calm him down. Like, he's all worked up from this traffic stop. I mean, is the guy being a dick? Sure. Is it the guy's right to be a dick? Absolutely. You're the one that chose to be a cop and be professional and courteous, right? Like that was your choice. And this guy has every right to be a dick because he can be. It's a free country. And the cop doesn't like it and just attacks him. And the female cop gets in there, tries to stop him. It's like, and she's telling him, like, stop, what are you doing? And the cop grabs her by the throat, throws her to the ground, and goes back after the guy. You know what happened? Female cop was relieved of duty, and that cop was promoted.
Oh, that makes no sense.
It happens all the time. Granted, he works at a different district now. Right? Like they don't get fired. They quit before they can get fired, so they can keep all their credentials, and they'll get hired by somewhere else. Knoxville, one of the news agencies in Knoxville, just did a whole story about these cops that come and go and like cycle through all these different towns, cities. One cop who's involved in a murder near where I live, like they start, okay, well, what's this guy's background? Well, he worked for Knox PD. He worked for Blount County. He worked for Maryville Police Department. He worked for Knoxville Police Department. He worked for Scott County. He worked for Union County. He worked for, this town and that town. And they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Why?
See, that's amazing to me. We have that here too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you go back
Murfreesboro's
and forth.
famous.
You know a bad guy that works for the police department. Well, the next thing you know, he doesn't work for them, but now he works for the sheriff's department, and it's
Correct.
like, what are you doing here? Y'all still know him. He's still the same asshole he was over there. Like, yeah.
I know a guy who was working at a state job that required a certain level of accountability. He got caught lying on an official form. His dad, who was a cop, helped cover it up, and then that kid went and worked as a cop. He's now still a cop. I think he's working for he's on his third department now because they have to keep, but he's unbelievably dumb. And honestly, he should have been prosecuted from the beginning. He's not someone that should be in a position of trust. The other thing is you can't get people to do the job. I'll tell you what, when I trained law enforcement back in the day, one of the things that it didn't freak me out. It freaked me out and it gave me rage is like we would do these shoot houses with cops and we'd put up, static targets, little pieces of cardboard. And then you'd have, civilian targets like you can't shoot, right? Like these are they're innocents. Don't shoot them. And they'd shoot so many. And they were allowed to shoot, depending on the department, how many they could get away with, right? My personal standards, you should be perfect. Like this is life. You should be perfect. Mm-hmm. You have all the time in the world to train. They never did. But anyway, I've heard so many cops make the exact same joke. And it just goes through me and we'll be like, hey man, this is somebody you shot. Like this could be a child. This could be this could be a hostage. What are you doing? He's like, that's what insurance is for.
Oh gosh.
Hundreds of times. I've heard that hundreds of times from different guys, different departments, like multiple states say the same thing. Yeah. Like, that's what insurance is for. Whoa. If it was in my power, you would never be a cop again anywhere. You'd be immediately relieved. And everything you've ever worked on should be reinvestigated.
Yeah.
But it's the world we live in.
We don't need to really get into it today, but if we do talk about this again, the medical field, there's a lot of that there too.
Oh my God.
They're protected by the insurance and yeah. We're gonna do this. This is what the egos.
I have doctor friends. I'm aware.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, on that happy note, I have a joke I could say, but it would get us canceled, so I'm not going to end it on that.
Nobody's listening anyway.
This one get us canceled. I don't care. I enjoy doing this with you. Either someone will pick up and listen or they won't. And the people who do listen, I guarantee are entertained.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I love you.
Love you.